Hello everyone, I am back with another Wi-Fi battle, and my opponent for this battle is actually going to finally not be a streamer from Twitch or YouTuber on YouTube, basically. Instead my opponent here is going to be someone that I found on Discord, one of the Discords that I follow, and her name is, I believe, CL.Luna. Yeah, I think that's her name. And this is going to be an OU battle, and well, yeah, an OU battle. How I found CL.Luna was actually, I found her in one of the battle request channels for one of the Discord servers that I follow, and I actually never, fun fact, I never actually wanted to battle her because a lot of people in the Discord server was saying, oh my gosh, she's god at this battle, at this game, and I'm like, really? I kind of don't want to battle her then. But then eventually, because I was looking for battles, well, actually, I was just accepting battles from the server, whoever was asking for battles, and I said, I'll battle, and then I'll battle. But then here, she actually decided to ask me for a battle, and I was like, okay, I actually ignored her for the first couple times that she's asked, but she kept asking me over and over again, and I was like, okay, I'll just battle you. I didn't want to because I didn't want to get wrecked by her, but I just battled her anyway. So, yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. Okay, she led with Beedrill and I left with Zapdos, as you can see. That's a Mega Beedrill. I anticipated this lead and my Zapdos was thankfully Choice Scarred, so I'm like, okay, she actually fell for this and actually stayed in and tried going for U-turn. Thankfully, she did not go for Poison Jab because that might have been able to take out my Zapdos, considering the Zapdos is not invested in any defense whatsoever, so. And she's gonna go for U-turn and go into Raikou. Now here, I have to switch out because I'm not gonna be able to do anything to this thing with Heat Wave. And not to mention, if it goes for Substitute and then Calm Mind, I do have Swampert here, which I go into to just roar it away. But she does predict me to switch out and goes for the Hidden Power Ice. Thankfully, that was not Hidden Power Grass, because if it was, I would have just been so screwed. She hard switches into Landorus, gets the Intimidate off, so my Earthquake can't do anything. But here, I'm just going to go for the Stealth Rocks, just so that I don't have to, just so that everything that comes into the team, everything that switches in takes damage. Damn it. Sheesh, man, I can't talk. Anyways, that Landorus-T just went for U-turn so that it can go into Tapu Fini. And I'm pretty convinced that this is her opportunity to actually go for the Fog. So I'm going to hard switch after going for the Scald, by the way, because, yeah, I did anticipate the Landorus to stay in just to go for her own rock. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go for Scald. She actually U-turned, went into Tapu Fini, like I said earlier. And now I'm going to be forced to switch out, and I'm going to go back into Zapdos because I anticipate, you know what, she's definitely going to try to go for Defog here. Instead, she actually becomes more aggressive and actually goes for the Taunt instead. So I was like, oh, okay. I was going to switch out anyway, but I'm good with this. So here, what I'm going to do now is actually try to Volt Switch. Because, yeah, I kind of had a feeling she would stay in, and I did not think she would switch into Landorus-T just yet. Because I am confident she's aware that Zapdos can carry Hidden Power Ice. So here I Volt Switch, she stays in, which is actually kind of crazy, and now goes for the Defog. Well, it did surprise me. I'm still glad I got a nice chunk of damage. I don't think Thunderbolt would have taken this Tapu Fini out, honestly, so I'm glad I went for Volt Switch, get a nice switching into Nihilego. I'm going to get the Toxic Spikes up now because she got rid of my rocks now, so I'm going to be like, you know what, you may have gotten rid of my rocks, but I'm definitely going to get my Toxic Spikes up. Except not really, because I actually go for Power Gym instead. Because I knew that this Landorus-T was going to come in. It would be nice to get residual damage on a Landorus-T, because these things almost never freaking die, despite them not having any recovery whatsoever. So here she goes for U-turn, predicting me to switch out into Skarmory, which can definitely wall this Landorus-T. And now here she's going to go back into Raikou, I believe. In which I actually believe I hard switch into Swampert, because now that I know that it doesn't have Hidden Power Grass, nor what's it called, Substitute, I'm definitely fine with this. But I don't switch into Swampert just yet. I go for the Nihilego because I did anticipate the Shadow Ball, and I felt that Nihilego could take it better, just because its special defense stat is a lot higher than Swampert's. And it does go for Shadow Ball, goes for Volt Switch afterwards. And I think here I go for the Toxic Spikes again. Yeah, I think, no, I actually go for it for the first time because I didn't get to go for it initially when I first sent out Nihilego, because I knew she was going to switch into Landorus-T, and I wanted to get some damage on that beforehand. But now I figured that even if she goes into Landorus-T, I can definitely get some Toxic Spikes up because I already got the prior damage that I needed on the Landorus-T. So yeah, I went for Toxic Spikes here. I switched out into Cofagrigus. She double switches, which is good because she had Beast Boost traced on this thing, and I did not want Beast Boost Porygon 2 because that would be actually a problem if it gets going. Here she's going to switch into Mega Beedrill, predicting me to switch out. And she actually gets rid of my Toxic Spikes just by sending this thing in. Now here she predicts me to switch out and goes for knockoff. And thankfully, because she did not survive the Rocky Helmet, she does not get to knock off my Rocky Helmet, which is really, really excellent because I do need this for the Landorus-T. And here she's going to go into Raikou after losing Beedrill. And I switch out because I definitely don't want to take a Thunderbolt. And I do switch in Swampert now. And now I do predict a Thunderbolt, which is excellent because this is exactly what I needed. Now here, she goes for Shadow Ball, and I did expect her to want to switch it up to Shadow Ball. It was either that or Heart Switch. But what I wanted to do here is actually get my Stealth Rocks up because, like I said, she has this Magearna on her team. And that thing has not come out yet. So it's not going to take any damage whatsoever. So what I need to do now is actually get as many hazards as I can, so that I can actually get at least some damage on that Magearna when it comes in. Because right now it's not coming out, and I'm actually really, really afraid of that Magearna, because we all know that Magearna can sweep like for days basically. But anyways, here I got my rocks up because I got the Spadef drop. I was forced to switch out. I switched in Nihilego, took a Shadow Ball, then took a Thunderbolt. I anticipated her to switch her move to Thunderbolt. It was either that or Volt Switch. Either way, I went for the Mirror Code because I figured she doesn't have a Dark type, so she Volt Switches. She's not gonna go into any Dark type, and if she goes into Magearna, which can usually a switch into Nihilego, I would actually get some clean damage. But no, she just stayed in and tried to Volt Switch, which I anticipated, so I switched back into Swampert. And now she goes for a Shadow Ball just to finish off this Swampert. She figured that I didn't have anything to get recovery, but I did have this Yappa Berry, which procced. And now she did get a special defense drop, which is annoying, but I am able to at least retaliate this thing with an Earthquake and take out this Raikou, which is excellent because I need this thing gone. Now here, Tapu Fini comes back in, and here now I'm confident she's going to want to go for the Defog, so what I'm going to do here is actually switch back into Nihilego to get some HP back from the Black Sludge. Worst case scenario, she goes for Skull and predicts it and takes out my Nihilego, but I was really, really certain she wanted to go for Defog because I had already had Toxic Spikes up, I think. And, no, not Toxic Spikes because I was removed by Mega Beedrill, but she did want to get rid of the Rocks because Rocks are actually a lot effective in this battle. Here, I believe I just go for Toxic Spikes once again. No, I double switch because she was going to definitely switch back into Porygon 2. And if she stayed in, I would have rather the Zapdos take the Moonblast. But I did anticipate a double switch, and she does in fact switch into Porygon 2, which is what I was afraid of because of the trace ability that traced my Beast Boost earlier. I did not want this thing with Beast Boost, so I just definitely double switch into Zapdos, which can pivot, which is one of the reasons I switched it in the first place. And then here I just went for Volt Switch. I did not think she would switch into Landorus-T right now because she knows I can carry Hidden Power Ice for it. So here I go into Cafyrgus. Now here I believe I just go for Toxic Spikes. She goes for Shadow Ball, which is like whatever to me. But what I want to do is actually get the knockoff off. Either that or Toxic Spikes. I do go for the knockoff on this thing to get rid of its Eviolite, which is perfect because honestly this Porygon 2 is really, really annoying with Eviolite because you could just never kill it afterwards. And not a whole lot of my team can take this thing out without this thing's Eviolite getting off. So yeah. Now here I'm just going to go for, I believe now for Toxic Spikes. Yeah, I do go for Toxic Spikes on this thing now. As she switches back the Landorus-T. She panicked here, I'm going to guess, because I got the knockoff of. I don't know if she was anticipating knockoff from a Cafyrgus, but I did carry it. And I went for knockoff on this thing. And now Porygon doesn't carry a Eviolite, which is actually excellent. Because now anything offensive on my team can definitely take it out just by hitting it really, 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 really hard. And I got Toxic Spikes up, so when it comes in, it'll just be able to get poisoned as well, making the ways to kill it much more effective. Here she went into Landorus-T. I went into Skarmory on the switch in because I switched out Nihilego to Cafyrgus for the Skarmory, and because I was anticipating a knockoff from this Landorus-T. Knocked off my Rocky Helmet, which doesn't matter too much because I already got the power damage that I needed. I did she did switch into Magearna, and I was like, okay. I went for Whirlwind. I stayed in, which was risky because she could have just gone for Thunderbolt, but I was really anticipating a Shift Gear, and that was actually my biggest concern with this Magearna, that it would be a Shift Gear set. So I was like, okay, that's fine. She's gonna go into Landorus-T now, U-turn just to get some damage, then go into Tapu Fini, which I'm guessing is here for the Defog, but I'm just glad that this thing got poisoned due to the Toxic Spikes, which was what I wanted this Toxic Spikes up for in the first place, Because otherwise Tapu Fini just comes in and just defogs everything all the damn time. But now that it's poison, it's going to be pressured a lot more. In fact, it's actually pressured so much that it's actually going to be, she's actually not going to go for defog here like I thought she was going to. Because what I was going to do here was actually just go for spikes to prevent her from trying to go for defog. Well, actually, I was anticipating defog, so I figured let's go for spikes in case she tries to defog. And since she's poison, I can just keep going for spikes until she goes down to poison. But here, she actually predicts my spikes attempt, goes for taunt, and I switch out because I do not want to stay taunted with Skarmory. I switch into Swampert, try to get some rocks up in case she goes for defog, because like I said, she is not going to get away with just defogging, although she technically could. She could have gone for it as I switched into Swampert, but she actually just went for Scald instead. Now here she's going to taunt me because she knows I can get another hazard up in the form of Stealth Rocks. But now she figures that she's going to go down to Toxic anyways, or Poison. And now down goes Tapu Fini, which was excellent. This was actually perfect because this thing was actually what was preventing all my hazards from staying. Now that Tapu Fini's gone, now my hazards are here to stay basically. Here, she's going to go into Landorus-T and I'm like, okay, I don't care about that. But I am going to hard switch because I'm taunted and I don't want that. So I'm going to go into Skarmory here. She definitely anticipates that switch and goes for Stone Edge, which I was hoping wouldn't do too much. And looking at how much damage this was, it kind of confirms to me that it was probably a Choice Scarf Landorus because she never went for a setup move. And here she goes for it again. So, yep, Choice Scarf Landorus confirmed. This allowed me to go for Roost. And I believe after this Roost, she just hard switches into Magearna. And I go for the Spikes because I need more hazards up. Okay, so she stays in for more Stone Edges, which is ironic because I actually get another layer of Spikes up here. And now I believe she's going to hard switch because she notices now that I'm just starting to rack up all the hazards up. So she's going to definitely hard switch into Magearna. Now here, I'm glad I roosted because now I'm at full HP. And this Magearna just took 2 layers of spikes, which is excellent because as you can see, this Magearna literally took no damage whatsoever because it never came out. Now it finally comes out, and now it's going to take a lot of damage. And thankfully, because I roosted, I was safe to just go for another Whirlwind just to phase it out because I need to get more damage on this Magearna from the hazards every time it comes in. So here, I phase it into Landorus-T. I think this thing gets rocks damage. No, not yet because the rocks are not up yet. Goes for Stone Edge. I let her KO my Skarmory just because I figured at this point I kind of don't need this thing anymore. This Landorus-T can just be finished off with anything else, honestly. But I send in Swampert to get the Stealth Rocks up because I really, really need these up right now. Because I need to get all the hazards I can get right now. Because this Magearna needs to take as much hazards damage as possible because she doesn't seem to be sending this thing out unless she really has the opportunity to. And that's kind of been happening all this time. She just keeps sending it in whenever she can. So like I never get to even attack it. She'll switch out every time I try to attack it. So hazards really is doing me wonders right now here. And now here she's going to go for Ice Beam on the Porygon 2 switch. Because she didn't want to lose Landorus-T just yet. I go for Earthquake after going for Stealth Rocks. And this Porygon 2, as you can see, went down to Poison because of the Toxic Spikes that I got up earlier. That she wasn't able to get rid of. Thankfully. Now here it goes into Landorus-T. Now this thing is going to take rocks damage. But here, this is going to be kind of interesting. She gets the Intimidate up, which is kind of bad for me because now I can't go for Earthquake on the Magearna. Because now here what I'm going to do is basically Roar because I did not want her to just U-turn on me. She goes for Knockoff, which is... I was able to take it, thankfully. This Magearna is going to take more spikes damage and now rocks damage, which is actually perfect because here what she tries to do is just go for the shift gear again, thinking I would probably just try to go for the attack. But no, what I'm going to do is just phase her out yet again because she still has more Mons in her team, and this Landorus-T was one of them. Now this Landorus-T goes down to rocks, which is what I was hoping for. So thanks to the hazards, this Landorus-T went out even without me even having to send out Sharpedo. So now this Magearna comes in. This is her last Pokemon, and look how much hazards damage this thing took. Over half. That's just clean. And that was all the damage from the hazards alone. I was never able to hit this thing until right now that she goes for the shift gear, because now she can, because this is her last Pokemon and I cannot phase her out anymore. So now here I'm forced to attack, and I do go for Scald, hoping for the burn. The fact that it's Torrent boosted because of the HP that Swampert has now, and the fact that Landorus got intimidated off of my Swampert, so I didn't think Earthquake would be able to take it out. So yeah, but here now she finishes off my Swampert with a Flash Cannon, which is the last move I realized, and this gave me an idea actually. I wanted Cofagrigus. I do have Protect on this Cofagrigus, so if by any reason she happens to be Steel, I would be able to freaking take it. She got +1. She goes for Flash Cannon. She goes for the Corkscrew Crash, which is the what Flash Cannon Z move is. And because it's not Floor Cannon, thankfully, which was what I was afraid of throughout the entirety of this match, I was actually able to take it through the Protect. So basically here I kind of nullified her Z move. And now here, because of this Protect, now I'm able to take one Flash Cannon and just finish off this Magearna with a Hex. So holy shit, that was a pretty good game. I know the match ended in a 4-0 in my favor, but honestly, if she took out my Cofagrigus right there, that would have been the whole game. I would have had no shot to win. Actually, I did have one more, and that would be a 50-50 with Sharpedo. I predict her to go for an attack, I Protect, or I predict her to try to go for another Shift Gear, and then I go for the attack. That was the last shot I had to win the battle, but if I failed there, I would have just gotten swept. So this match, despite it being a 4-0, was definitely close, and plus, it's freaking Magearna. That thing can make comebacks of the century for days, so, or for centuries for that matter. So of course, that was actually really, really intense for me. And not to mention, this battle was hella long too, just because of all the plays we had to make in this battle. So for a first battle against a non-streamer or YouTuber, this is actually a pretty good battle, not gonna lie. But yeah, good game to CL.Luna, and thank you all for watching this insane-ass battle against a non-streamer, non-YouTuber once again. But this is gonna be it for today. I'll catch you guys later for another battle, and just stay tuned and take it easy for now.